Welcome, Virgo, to the Temple of Tarot, Astrology, and Yoga. My name is Ava, and I'm going to be your oracle for the month of April 2026. This is an Astro Tarot forecast, which is relevant to you if your sun sign or your moon sign or your rising sign is Virgo. You're my opposite, Virgo. I'm Pisces. So we have a natural affinity for one another, being opposites, as opposites often attract. It's a very windy day here on the Big Island, and as it has been for 3 weeks now. But I've got my trusty mic right here, and with my trusty hat over the mic, serving as a wind shield. Hopefully it will work well enough. All right, let's begin. This is an Astro Tarot forecast, meaning that I'm going to be explaining to you what the transits of Mars and Venus are primarily going to do in April, and then we'll use that as a foundation for the tarot reading that will follow. So this month, the primary, most powerful transit is Mars and Venus in Aries. And Aries is your 8th house. The 8th house is a very deeply significant house or sector, because the words that describe this house are transformation. So death, which could mean just the endings of something rather significant, or sometimes it does mean literal death, as it implies inheritance, but it also refers to sex, taxes, dealing with the government, and shared resources with a partnership. So partnerships, be they romantic or business partnerships, that involve shared resources. So this month, because Mars and Venus are both in the 8th house, financial concerns, again, such as taxes, insurance, your legacy or legacies, investments, monetary investments, will be highlighted, will become central. There's a need to handle all these issues in a way that is more in-depth. So how you manage your resources with a partnership, business or otherwise, will be undergoing perhaps sudden shifts. There could be sudden shifts also in your financial world, again, be that investments, insurance, inheritance. Major transformations or shifts occurring there. So you have to be very adaptable this month, Virgo, and maybe even frugal. Although with both Venus and Mars in this house of finance or inheritance or insurance, taxes, and such, you could be in line for a major increase in income or in the fruits of your investments. you may be also uncovering some secrets. This is ruled, the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. And Scorpio is the keeper of secrets. So either you are keeping a secret, or a secret is revealed to you. That could be as well. By the 19th, Venus goes into Taurus. This sort of takes the pressure off, because there is a lot of pressure with these two planets transiting the same house. So then it goes into your 9th house, and for a spell you get some relief, maybe in the form of some spiritual solace. This may be a very, very good time for you, Virgo, because you're a natural born analyzer, researcher. So you're going to take those specific skills and talents and turn them towards healing your partnerships or your financial circumstances, or even your intimate partnerships, sexual partnerships as well. So that is the background for the upcoming tarot forecast. And thank you very much for joining me. If you would like to procure a private and personal reading from me, there are links below. I have a whole series of readings, private and personal readings, that you can acquire from career readings, life path readings, relationship readings, and even emergency readings when you just need the answer within 24 hours. So I appreciate you liking and supporting and sharing, and thank you for being here. Now let's wait for the tarot forecast coming up now. Welcome, Virgo, to your tarot forecast for April 2026. Relevant to you, again, if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Virgo. We use the astrology forecast as a foundation, a base for this reading. This is a simple 4-card spread. The first card represents the overall energy of the month. The second is your challenge. The third position is the unexpected, the surprise element of the month. And the fourth is the outcome. So I've already placed 2 reversals in here, and I've pre-shuffled, but I shuffled just a little bit more, and there it is. I need to wait for the cards so they don't fly off. Let's go. It's going to be a month of tremendous transformation with both Mars and Venus in your 8th. So let's see what the cards have to add to that scenario. In the position of the overall energy or mood of the month, we have a fire card. We have the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands. Well, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed by external pressure, as is illustrated in this scene if you look at it. We have someone standing on top of a hill in a defensive position with the wand in front of him, protecting himself from the wands below him, who are trying to take the high ground away from him. So external pressure. And maybe this month you're going to feel a little bit exhausted exhausted or burned out. Maybe feeling as if you just want to stop fighting for what you have, fighting for your territory, metaphorically speaking. There is an intense restlessness about this card as well, where you have to fight to maintain the status quo. Maybe fighting for your financial security or for a relationship. And something maybe makes you feel as if it's just not worth the effort. You could be kind of overwhelmed by other people's judgments or criticisms, or maybe you will just feel a little bit insecure about the choices that you're making. But as you see, he defends his territory successfully. So sometimes, instead of addressing some of the deep, intense 8th house issues that are tugging at your heart and mind, you become defensive. Maybe even trying to be too guarded. You need to stop feeling as if the world is against you and accept that where you are is where you deserve to be. You deserve the position you're in. So give yourself credit and choose your battles carefully, Virgo, and keep your powder dry. That is the overall energy or mood of the month. So let's take that out and put that over here underneath so it doesn't fly away, and move to the second position, the position of the challenge. And we have a major arcana challenge. We have the Emperor. The Emperor. Well, this is a significant challenge. You need to stop over structuring things, because the Emperor is very structured, very traditional, and in the challenge position he's saying to you that maybe too much structuring, too much tradition may be obstructing your ability to adapt and navigate the changing emotional or financial situations you may be in. So you should perhaps stop micromanaging those financial concerns and not be too heavy-handed in response to emotional situations. So this represents, in the position of the challenge, excessive rigidity versus the ability to accept the necessary changes that will take place. It's crucial that you don't be too stubborn or too inflexible. And maybe he's asking you not to follow the rules as strictly or, you know, expect other people to behave in ways that are beyond their level of training. or education. This could also indicate a misuse of authority. Either you misuse it or someone is misusing it against you. So this is ego, power, ego struggles. Someone may be behaving tyrannically towards you, or tyrannically in areas of finance. Your partner may be behaving badly or non-traditionally. Or this could be about your intimate relationships, where you're being too rigid, or they're being too rigid. So what it's saying is that leadership is what is required, not dictatorship. You've got to somehow loosen your grip, because you have to realize that not everything can be managed. And there's a need to let go and surrender to the transformations that are occurring both internally and externally. So that is the challenge for April. Moving on to the position of the unexpected, we have another major arcana card. So it's a major month, powerful month. 2 major arcana cards in a row in a 4-card spread is very significant. And that is the Hermit. The Hermit signifies, and again in the position of the unexpected, sudden, forced withdrawal. Withdrawal from perhaps intense social situations, or passionate engagements as you engage or seek internal clarity, spiritual clarity. It's forced introspection. Forced introspection. You may be choosing to step back from the intensity, taking a pause. It could be a pause in your relationship, or a pause in some financial negotiations, or you may be forced to look at some skeletons in your closet or someone else's closet. You move from passion to deep purpose. So instead of acting on impulse or desire, you're being asked to question things very deeply, because the potential for a sudden breakthrough or a sudden ending is very much augured. You see, the Hermit is that. He's a hermit. He's quiet. He's slow. He's inward. And so he presents a very stark contrast to the dynamic, active, fast-moving energy of the 8th house, with Mars particularly in the 8th house. So you want to leave behind all the drama. And so you may find yourself needing solitude, or because you feel drained by it all. And there consequently could be unexpected interest in meditation, spiritual evolvement, or perhaps esoteric subjects. And that is the unexpected for the month, which brings us now to the outcome. Oh my. 3 major arcana cards. And as I said, the 8th house represents death, endings. And we have death as the outcome. This could be the death of an old relationship, or maybe just old relationship dynamics, or it could be the end to a long-standing financial situation or problem. Since the 8th house governs shared resources and rebirth and inner and outer transformation, this brings an ending to something in these areas, so that a new cycle or a new phase can begin. So there's going to be a need to reevaluate what you truly want, what you value, what means something to you. So this will act as a catalyst, forcing inevitable changes. You may be letting go of a dead-end relationship or some other toxic obsession, or just an old way of managing your finances. Death says there's an absolute quality to this card, a very deep quality. Death is the ultimate leveler. If you look at the card, you have a pauper and a king, both of whom cannot escape death. It levels everyone. So there may be a leveling of the playing field. Or just death is a signal that it's necessary to make room now for something much better. But it does forecast deep emotional shifts, which will purify your soul. And that is your forecast for April 2026. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and sharing. And let me now show you the weather here on the Big Island of Hawaii. Namaste, aloha, and thank you for your support.